This robot's name is Struthers. I start with the body and then I come up with a head. And Struthers' head is just an old vacuum tube. And so I made him with long arms, and the arms are old resistors, 1940s vintage. His legs, they're out of ceramic. I try to name each robot from some piece. I look on all the pieces that I have, and his feet actually have Struthers and Dunn manufacturing on it, so his name became Struthers. Okay, this one, his name is Jackson. All of these pieces weren't on the original meter. That's probably 50s vintage. These pieces, his shoulders are actually old oil drippers. So these went on the machines back in the 20s, using still some old resistors for his legs. And he's quite tall. He's a tall one. And his feet, they actually held old gauges. So this is the body of the gauge. I knew that the Comic-Con was coming to Salt Lake, and I thought, well, I'll get me a booth there. So I put quite a few of them together in a short amount of time and was fortunate enough to sell them. A fellow came in and he quickly went in and out of the booth, and then he came back in a couple of hours later and spent time at every robot. And finally he waited until everyone else was out of the booth and said, did you make these robots? And I said, I did. And I said, well, tell me which one I can tell you more about. And he said, I love them all. I want them all. I said, oh, good grief, that's, I'm tickled to death that you get it, and that you're willing to buy them all. I didn't know what he was going to do with them. My biggest concern is I didn't want to sell to just one person. I didn't want to lose a sale, but I knew that I didn't want to sell to just one person. I only just thought about it for just a few moments and said, that's really not my plan to sell it to just one individual. At the risk of losing the sale, could we maybe drop that down? And I said, how many would you be happy with walking away with? And he said, how about 3 or 4? And I said, how about 2? And he said, do I get to choose the ones? And I said, of course. He ended up buying those 2. Found out through us going back and forth via email that he was from California, and that he was there with some of the entertainment. Trying to think of the person from Star Trek, Bill Shatner. I could figure out through his email that he was a manager to one or possibly multiple of these people coming in, so he ended up with a couple of them.